of their business. Like how do you get it to really scale?
你打开手
So
机
like
看
that
一
one,
下，
I think
打开
is
手机
really
看一下
good.
直播间，
现在是在直播的吗？
开播了。
开播了。
那个
Dapso, it seems like it could be pretty interesting if it was like because there's tons of wallets. They each don't have their own DApp platform. So maybe it's like an API where like every wallet can now have dApps. I think
还蛮多杂音的。
so like flow or something makes finance too much. So it makes me feel like it's an app on top of Request
也可以用。
rather like a direct competitor. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so if they say like we're focusing on this and then building out the platform to encompass all these types of payments is better than saying we do this one thing that Request doesn't do and then mention them 5 times. Because then it's like, oh maybe Request will build it.
Okay, so hello everyone, and we can have our teas and snacks ready on our hands, and I think we will welcome.
等一下。
Okay.
Minute.
Maybe you can drink for 1 minute free time, because our handsome video man is in the toilet.
下是要站在上面讲。站，对，站，对。因为我们是对着那个摄像头，对，
摄像头哪？
是他电脑的，我们有那个左边在放 PPT， 然后右边有个小框。
I think we have some cakes. Biscuit, I'm not sure.
OK， 我还去过一回，但是也很久很久以前。是吧？现在这边人多吗？没有。OK。但老板在这。没毛病，真好，真嗨得高。这边有1个人，老板在那边
那个呢？
那你现在主要是做？你现在投入多少？Thank you.
哪个？这个是吧？
现在投资到成熟是24年，那24年过去理论来说应该是
稍等，别说话。我们还要让他带一下这个，试一下麦。好吗？喂。 我在直播。喂，OK。好，我们这边好了，可能这个需要别在哪里，或者就不用话筒，就直接用这个讲。
这好像没声音。
啥？
就这好像没有声音。我刚拿半天。
没声音。
这是我们那个电脑里面收音的。
哦。
对，这样就会清楚很多。这个话筒就是为了给大家听的。
或者我用了话筒，是不是收音也没问题？
不会，还是会很嘈杂。
那我用了这个还能用话筒吗？
也用一下吧。
也用是吧
可以。
？OK。
或者你声音特别响亮的话，也可以。
这不是很好夹哎。
有，我们俩都充好，那就举着这个讲吧，我让他们都
可以，好，
对，
可以。那我用这个讲。
主要我们是主职业嘛，所以这东西就在我们看来就属于我们特别想
玩。
而且就是你给你个币，就那种传统那种投资人，就那种老钱，也是老钱，就是普通人，他们特别懂这个。但你送他一个地址，放他钱包，他不懂。送他一个这个，他就。
Okay, so if you want, you can move forward and sit here. And because we don't need to use the. Okay, so we will not use the microphone now, so if you can move forward and sit here and here. I think I'm gonna move the table. Yeah, we can all sit on the table, and so now we don't need to use the microphone. Okay, our dear friends over there, the solitary man with his phone, emerging his own world with my phone. I will never look up. I swear. Okay, I'm gonna leave him alone. So, welcome, Queenie, and to have our first lecture of how VC work and how VC see us.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay. So my name is Queenie. And I'm leading the investment arm at I'mToken, a non-custodial wallet since 2016. And my whole career life is all about VC since 2016. So yeah, I can only do the VC job. Yeah, and today I want to give you an overview of some of the frequently asked questions from the VCs, especially from the market and the product perspectives. Because it doesn't work. 好，这个没有，还没有。好。Yeah. So here's the the overview. You can actually Google. You will find maybe more than 100 terms that you should learn to basically communicate with the VCs. But today I wanna focus on market and products, as I mentioned, because it's the core of the story or your pitch. And also, it's the center of the investor questions. You will get a lot of questions to justify your product positioning, or there will also be some debates. You have to persuade the investor to believe in your thesis. And also, it's from wedge to long-term strategy. So you not only think about, maybe it's a hackathon project or, just a side project for next 1 to 3 months, but you actually want to bring it to next few years. So you have to consider from the short term to long term. And it's also a very good opportunity to go through the potential questions to actually help yourself to check on the product fits. So first thing, it's about the industry, or like the most important thing about the market size, as I just mentioned. So are you familiar with Tencent song? Anyone have ever heard of it? Okay, nice. These are the like the three terms that people usually use to calculate the potential market size. So as you can see, the TAM is the biggest pie here. Is the total addressable market. So I can just use your pitch as an example, because he mentioned that he's targeting 1 billion users. So maybe that's the the basis of his TAM for his product. So he's calculating 1 billion users, and then he can maybe have the price of his product maybe like maybe 10 USD, right? Singapore dollar, and then the potential TAM for him is like 1 billion. So it's like 10 billion US dollar for his TAM. But so people normally write the TAM on the pitch because it looks amazing. Like it's a huge number. But will VCs believe in it? So no. So normally people VCs will consider SAM and SOM. So it's the serviceable available market and the serviceable obtainable markets. I can give you an example here. So if Token is gonna do a staking business, then how would you calculate the TAM for the potential business? Anyone want to try? A simple equation. Sorry? Oh, so how would you calculate the total addressable market for Token staking business? Like how big the whole staking market is? No. So you will use the total ETH supply, and then to multiply the target staked percentage. For example, we assume maybe half of the Ethereum will be staked, right? Then you multiply 50%, and then the APR, and then the take rates, which means like maybe as a wallet we will charge 10% of the potential fee, and multiply the ETH price, and then you get the TAM here. So it's like 1 billion per year. So this is the whole staking business market size. But can we eat the whole pie, the whole cake? Definitely not, right? So you have to consider the serviceable market size for Token. And then what you will consider. For example, we can have some filters. Because Token is a non-custodial wallet, so we should consider like how many non-custodial wallets users actually among the whole crypto users. And for example, and also the jurisdiction. For example, Token is mainly targeting the Asian market. Then probably that's maybe 50% of the whole market, and then you get the SAM. It's like 35% multiply 70% multiply 1 billion, and then we get the number here. It's like around 245 million per year. But is that all? We can do more detailed calculation based on the current advantages that ImToken have. For example, so if ImToken currently only have 2 million monthly active users, and that's probably the whole like the user base that probably can go into the staking service, right? So that can be the calculation base for the sum. And also we can assume optimist conversion rate, for example, maybe 20%. And we can also assume maybe one user only stake 2 ETH based on their like user behavior. And then we can also set our own take rate. For example, we think maybe 10% is not attractive to the users. We can only charge 5, and then we can do the final, the projection. Then we get that's like 32,000 ETH per year for ImToken. That's like a kind of like realistic projection. So remember, when you are trying to show the potential market size, you show a big number, but VCs will do the detailed calculations there. And you'd better also do it yourself. Otherwise, you won't know the gap, how big that is. Okay. And the second thing is about the entry barrier of the industry. So this is something you won't show it on your pitch, but the questions will be asked around it. For example, VCs maybe will ask, like, what stops a fast follower? Like, for example, yeah, you can build a DEX, but what if like another one can also build a DEX? So what's the difference? Then why you and why now? Why you're the team to make it happen, and why now is still a good timing? And the second thing is that when you figure it out, like how high or low the entry barrier is and who are the players there, and then you know like what features you should build first. For example, like I can have maybe I'll have an example later. And why it matters so much, because high barrier is usually considered to be a more attractive kind of business, because it will have less commoditization, and it will potentially result in a better unit economics. Because, for example, what example I can get for you? Okay, so for example, if you want to build an exchange, a centralized exchange in Singapore, it's a very high barrier thing to do, because first you need to get the license, right? So maybe like in the whole Singapore, there won't be like more than 5 companies exist, or maybe only 1 or 2 will potentially get the license and get into the industry. So it means like they don't have that many competitors, so they can price their products. They can charge fee, like because there's basically no challenges. Yeah, and yeah, it also helps with the capital planning, because you know the actual cost and the time to win the market. For example, people normally ask like, who are your competitors and how early they are ahead of you, and then people will answer, oh, yeah, I think they're like 3 months or 6 months ahead of us. Then you know, like, oh, how I should like concentrate my resources and the capital or like talents to fight with them. And the last thing is about the exit. So normally the buyers pay for moats, not features. I think this is more from the like the investor perspective. Yeah, and there are several common barrier types that you can like consider, like which one actually suits your product or business. The first thing it's about the regulatory compliance or some IPs, as I just mentioned, like the license for like crypto exchange, and also the distribution control. I'll try to give you more like crypto native examples. I think distribution control, I can give you an example here. For example, we all know the transaction supply chain, right? Like the MEV supply chain. So wallets is at the upstream of the whole value chain. So we are actually the distribution channels. So if the MEV service providers, they want to sell the products, they actually sell through the distribution channels like us, like wallets. So actually, if the MEV service providers, they claim, okay, I get exclusive partnerships with mToken, Rabi, MetaMask, then we can say, okay, they've already got the moats and the entry barrier is already there. So probably other MEV new service providers will be like super difficult to play the game anymore. And the network effect and liquidity, I think this one is super like intuitive, like the social media, social network, and also like the, for example, the DEX like Uniswap, right? And the switching costs and the workflow, I think it's more like maybe like a SaaS product, like Microsoft. For example, you've already like let your whole company use the software for a long time, and the documents, the files of your company are all on like Microsoft like software. So the switching cost to a new like kind of competing product is very high. And the data and models, I think this one is very suitable to LLMs, yeah, the AI companies. Capital supply constraints, here I can mention maybe the data center. It's super like capital intensive to start a business like a data center. IP standards, I already mentioned, and brand and trust, I think this is quite relevant to like the wallets like us. So everyone can build wallets, softwares, but it's like who can actually like win MetaMask? So that's about the brand and trust. And the partnership modes, I think that's similar to the distribution channels I just mentioned. Yeah, and here, the second thing about moats, because moat is highly relevant to the entry barrier. How many of you have ever heard of the term moat? Okay, cool. So because I've been to several demo days, I heard the judges or the investors ask like what your moat is for several times. So I guess you'd better to get familiar with it. So when we were talking about barrier and moat, it's all about how you can define your business from the potential like newcomers or the competitors. But the entry barrier is more about like before the product launch, like and the moat is more about after launch. So for example, like the example I just mentioned, like everyone can build a crypto wallet. So the entry barrier is very low for you to get in. But why it's so difficult to win MetaMask? It's because their moat is already there, and the moat is the brand and trust. Yeah, so that's before and after. And yeah, I guess. And so here are 5 types of the modes that people usually talk about. So first one is intangibles, which includes the license, the IP, and the brand and trust I just mentioned. So for example, like some big consuming brands like Nike, Coca-Cola, and Disney, they win, they're the market leaders because they've already have their own like IPs or brands. So they have very good, pricing power there, because like you cannot see other Disney movies, like non-Disney like kind of IP movies, right? So yeah, and the second thing is the switching cost. I've mentioned like Microsoft, like Apple, for example, the whole like Apple OS, the system, the switching cost. And the third thing is network effect. I think this one might be more relevant to you guys, especially who are building marketplaces, who are building DeFi, like things relevant to liquidity. Yeah. And the fourth one is efficient scale. I think this one is more like more frequently seen in traditional industries. For example, you're building something like a railroad. So it's not like you build one railroad or two railroads, then you can make a profit. You have to build 100. And then you have the scale, and then you lower the cost, and then you can make money. And normally, this kind of business only allows maybe 1 to 2, 3 to 4, like very few players. Because if there are more players, then there's no profit for everyone. Yeah. And the last thing is the cost advantage. I think this one is particularly like seen in some like Chinese startups. Yeah, you all know that. Yeah. And yeah, so we can, and also it's not always like a company only has one mode. So great companies often have layer modes. For example, Amazon, they have cost advantage and also network effects. And some large banks, they have the intangibles like license, and also they have the network, and they also have the efficient scale. Yeah. And so we can have very simple concept of the whole, like the logic here. So the entry barrier is highly relevant to the modes, but it's not decides like the modes. And the low entry barrier doesn't mean like the modes. So it's because like the different how to, yeah, so yeah, let me so first it's not like determined relation. So the whether it's low entry barrier or high entry barrier doesn't mean that. Maybe we will just skip this part. I think you've already got it, right? Yeah, it's really difficult to explain in English. And here we can try to do some quick quiz, or we can have an example here. So first, as a crypto wallet, how would you see the entry barrier and its modes? I think I've already said that. I think the entry barrier is quite low, and the mode is the brand and trust. And then for B2B SaaS, who want to try? Low or high entry barrier? High. Why high?
Because you need a lot of developers, which their salary is expensive. So that's kind of entry barrier for newcomers, probably.
But you build everything. You need the software developers. You need to pay the wage, right?
Yeah. But at least you have, for example, you have like some money, or you some fund, then you can start your SaaS. For something you don't need to raise fund, you can do that. That's I think that's zero.
Come on, but now remember, like you can use vibe coding. So one person, you can actually build a SaaS product easily.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and if you want to say like if the money, the investment is the barrier, then how can you compare like building a SaaS product to maybe opening a data center? That's the barrier. That's the capital, the barrier. So I think building a SaaS product is relatively low in its entry barrier. Then what's the moat?
Oh, the mode is high.
Come on, you're
I thought you were asking both.
sorry,
I thought you were asking both at the same time.
the moat.
Oh yeah, with the entry barrier. But yeah, like no one switches from Salesforce.
Yeah. Oh, so, oh,
Oh, it's high.
yeah. You mean
for mode.
for moat?
Yeah.
Moat. There's no high moat or low moat. It's basically what's the moat is. Yeah. So you mean switching cost? Yes, correct. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. The distribution. Right. Yeah. And DevTools actually is similar. Yeah. And marketplaces. Who's building marketplace here?
I tried before.
Oh, please. Okay. Yeah. Entry barrier.
I feel that the marketplace I'm targeting, it's a bit, it's not there actually, right? It's not, I say it's not switching costs, but it's more like network. Yeah,
So you think the entry barrier is okay?
network, because as a marketplace, I can't like take much like money from my users, but I will only be getting profit when I'm having a huge number of users.
Okay.
I think it's more about that last mode we discussed.
Okay.
Yeah,
Economy of scale.
yeah.
Okay. What's your opinion?
So, I mean, entry barrier is definitely low. Everyone can build a marketplace. It doesn't need a license or whatever. Mode is key. I mean, it's hard to drive adoption on both the supply and the key about marketplace is the supply on one side. They both need to be adopted. You need to have the trust from both sides. The mode is you have a closed loop of the adoption from
Yeah.
supply and demand side.
Yeah, that's network effect. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Fintech payment. Who wanna try?
It could be high.
Why?
Because in terms of fintech, there's a lot of regulations and compliance.
Yeah.
And so it's very difficult for people to go into fintech and payment.
Yeah.
So it could be high.
Cool. And what's the moat for the products?
It could be distribution, or it could be I don't know where this one comes in, but cheaper fees, easier usability.
Okay. So that's more about economy of scales. Yeah. Yeah. And how about AI inference infrastructure? Who's building AI? I remember.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel that like my AI inference infrastructure is more like connected with the marketplace as well. So like the entry barrier here is more about like it's currently not there because I'm like having marketplace as well as the infrastructure. Like I'm building both of them. So I personally feel it's more about the talent here because you can't easily buy code infrastructure. Right.
So you think the barrier is a bit high?
Yeah.
Does your platform require a lot of GPU resources?
No, we are taking help of idle devices. Like it's a marketplace, right? So one end is the idle devices that are people like me who can give my free devices, and the other part is that researchers or small scale startups who want very specific sort of computation. and don't want to go into GCP or Azure for long-term commitment.
Okay, cool. So it's actually an innovative kind of model. It's not like a traditional infrastructure platform. Yeah. So if it's like the more traditional way, then it maybe requires a lot of like GPU resources. Then the entry barrier is definitely a bit high, and the moat should be what?
I would like to say that. So, like usually, like when we talk about AI inference infrastructure, so there are lots other companies as well, like Kubernetes, like Grok, which is like fast inference, right? And
Yeah.
also there is Celebras as well. So the mode will be like having a lower latency of the AI inference, as well as like the availability, right? So someone in Switzerland, right? I want my servers to be in Switzerland. I don't want my data to like be processed in US somewhere. So if I have the server availability, that would be also important. And also like the ecosystem, right? So how easy for me is to connect with them. Like I can use different languages. Are we supporting those languages as well to connect with their inference?
Then
I feel that for AI infrastructure, like if I'm going on a like traditional scale, it's more about like switching costs, because like if I'm having like I'm buying many GPUs and I want to have a data center to provide as a business, it's very difficult to compete with Google or Azure or AWS. Yeah. I feel it's switching costs because they provide at a less cost than what other people can provide.
I'm not sure whether, like the switching cost, if you compare like like a cloud service to like a Microsoft, like the kind of, I think, the switching cost,
From a company's perspective, if I'm Microsoft, like Microsoft has so many businesses, like all of its like work itself is in Azure and stuff. So let's take Google. Google's GCP itself uses like all the maps. You might have used Gmaps, right? It's hosted on GCP. So even if some company is not using their services, it does have services to occupy their servers, and like they have better optimization. So the cost from a company's perspective is, I think, better than what as small providers we can do.
Yeah, cool, nice. Does anyone want to like talk about your products, like which maybe it's not a marketplace, it's not a SaaS, and then you want to try, like to analyze your own like products, entry barrier, and the potential moat? Do you want to try?
Yeah, sure. First we are hardware producers, so I think the entry barrier is not low. Not low. Because you
Why?
Because you have same reason. Because you have an initial fund. Actually, we have. So we can find the design house in Shenzhen or in Dongguan to design something first, and then another barrier is our knowledge, because we have been working in crypto industry for 7 years. So I think that I can find the subtle test of the users. So I think that's another barrier. I mean, knowledge barrier, kind of. So not low, and the moat. I think the moat is the quality of the product. Yeah, you need to have because you only have one position under your phone. If you stick us, you won't stick others.
Okay.
If you stick too much, that's ugly, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So I think the most probably the good quality of it.
Yeah.
And the price is also the most.
Okay.
Because we are low enough. The price is low enough. It's just two chicken rice. You cannot beat us because So,
okay.
So I
Very
think,
nice.
Yeah. So that's probably the most.
Yeah. Okay. So the moat quality is relevant to brand trust, and then low cost, low price, cost advantage. Very clear. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, here comes to the product positioning part, because we've talked about the industry, like the industry you are tackling, right? So here we want to talk about the product. So I think it's super important to emphasize who you serve, your potential target users, and what category you play in, and why you win. So I think today only a few of you mentioned the target users, right? Only a few. So I can give templates to fill in. So for who, and the product is what, that gives what benefits. And unlike what the alternative, it can have unique differentiator because what, the proof. So just a very simple example using mToken. So if like we, oh, so no is taking. So mToken is for Web3 users who want to store and trade crypto without custody risk, right? Okay. And mToken is a non-custodial wallet that offers one-tap swapping with clear on-chain proofs. Okay. And unlike centralized exchanges, it lets users keep their keys while using fully on-chain services, open source and backed by audited contractors. Very simple example. Anyone want to try to polish your like one sentence positioning? Let me try to recall who mentioned the potential users. Yes.
So for our team, like the users are Web3 and open source developers. Actually, we're doing a double-sided market. So there are two kinds of users.
Yeah, developers, maybe just.
Yeah, the developer and also the one who needs developers. We are kind of like a platform, so it's a double market. So what's this case? What shall I say?
So that's like for developers who want to work for what?
Some Web3 project.
And the Web3 project who want to find.
Yeah, developers to contribute to their ecosystem.
And then?
And then for the category, actually I'm not sure what.
The category is like you already mentioned. It's a marketplace, right?
Yeah.
So your product, the name is what? Yeah, according work is what kind of marketplace? Non-cust, like on-chain, like, yeah. Developer marketplace offers what?
Offers new way people can, the strangers can collaborate directly.
Okay, avoid to use vague like words like new. You'd better just add the features, like for example, trustless way, or that's better. Like because you only have one word to describe it. Yeah.
So provide a decentralized way for strangers collaboration.
Nice. Unlike what?
Unlike a traditional company hire people to get things done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Okay, thanks.
Who else want to try? Please.
Want to try for the second product maybe?
Yeah, sure, of course.
It's for crypto traders and crypto holders. So those who have crypto in their wallets or those who are just trading their crypto. So what do we do? I try using
Your product? Yeah.
also in Hunter is agentic platform.
Yeah. So agentic platform, do you have better words than platform, like more detailed word? then that's okay. That's okay. Yeah. Agentic platform that offers what?
Offers data-driven insights for crypto traders who, okay, it's going to be long.
Yeah.
For crypto traders who are looking for high yield
Mm-hmm.
for their assets.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, for crypto traders and holders who are looking for high yields for their crypto assets without necessarily going through rigorous process.
Mm.
Rigorous process and risks of looking for the safest
Mm.
and non-scammy
Mm-hmm.
protocols to put their crypto.
Mm-hmm.
So now I need to train it to be short.
Mm-hmm.
So what I can do is I can say Yield Hunter is customized for crypto traders and hodlers looking to capitalize on
To earn high yields in a secure and efficient.
secure
Uh-huh.
and low risk protocols, DeFi protocols.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Unlike, who are your potential competitors?
There's no potential, unlike any other normal trader who uses their own knowledge to risk their assets
Okay.
and ends up
Mm-hmm.
getting scammed
Mm-hmm.
by fake
Okay.
assets.
Yeah, or there's an angle like, for example, because it's an agentic platform, so you can say like, unlike other non-agentic platforms, who, why they're not like as good as yours. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Who rely on
yeah.
influencers and scammers
Yeah,
or
mm-hmm.
not
Yeah,
because people usually tend to follow influencers and scammers who cheat them with very high yields.
Mm-hmm.
When they lock their money,
Mm-hmm.
they get scammed.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how to put that in the unlike part.
I think maybe like the manual
Mm-hmm.
part,
Yeah.
because I think that like the agentic automation part was actually like very interesting
Yeah.
and a bigger like unique selling point
Mm-hmm.
for the product.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, prison.
Yeah, yeah. I think the keywords are like high yield, secure, right? Secure. Like you mentioned all the scams, whatever. That's secure, and probably like manual, automatic, right? And also like maybe it's 24 hours and it's more efficient, blah blah blah. So yeah, you can try to narrow it down.
Trim it so you need to trim it to fit into your positives, then compare with negatives of competitors.
Yes, yes. Then it makes you stand out. Oh, you want to try?
Yeah, my present.
Mm.
So Imara serves three key people. Serves innovators, builders, and serves builders, innovators, and builder residencies who play in the Web3 space category. And why we win is by we ensure commitment to the projects being built and the project milestone tracking.
Unlike
Competitors such as Dora Hubs,
mm-hmm.
yeah, which they just handle hackathons and then that's it.
Okay. So the trust problem and the incentive.
Yeah, the incentive
Okay.
of keep building.
Okay.
framework for your elevator pitch.
Yeah.
It's very, very short, like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Just like what you said, they should have this. It's kind of like the first maybe 2 or 3 slides.
Exactly. Yeah. Basically, who you serve and what category and why you win. Right? Okay. Clear. Here, this one actually maybe it's too early for you. So it's the competition metrics. I think one team has done this. Yes, already. And I just got a super simple one for you to have a sense. So I listed, like I'm talking several competitors, and first we know the present situation, like the market share, user base, and you can add more elements. I just pick 2 here, and then we know like the gap between the competitors and who are the leading ones, and here, like we're gauging the key features, like what kind of features we're doing good and what kind of features the competitors are doing good. And we normally divide the features into 2 categories because that's more clear, and we can draw the chart later. So we divide for wallets. Users care about convenience and also security. And then I list the main features in each category, and then we compare with competitors. And then we got to know, okay, on which features we're not doing so good and on which we're doing better than the potential competitors. Then we can draw this perceptual map. Yeah, I think the team has already drawn it. It's really intuitive. So as I mentioned, then we have the 2 scales here, right? Convenience and the security. And we have the data before, so it's very easy to position your product in this map. So then it's easy to see, okay, I'm talking it's good at security, but maybe not so convenient for the users. So we need to, if you want to get there, we need to bring more convenience features for the users. And normally there's not only like, good, bad here, but maybe it can just have, users can also have different preference. For example, for this one in the textbook, so there can be different user segments, and there can be different products to suit different kind of user demands. But just be careful. Don't create a product which doesn't have any user demands here. So brand C here is quite dangerous. He'd better they just better like move here, or move here. Yeah. So I recommend this map. I think it's super intuitive and easy to use. And here, this one, I don't see many people use it in the pitch deck, but I think it's also helpful for you to figure out like how you compare to the competitors and what can actually make you win with your differentiation. So you can list all the user demand here. For example, based on security and convenience, like what users actually want. And then you list your competitors' feature here, and also your product features here. And then you figure it out, okay, this is something maybe the competitors are doing good and you don't have it. And here's the common ground. And here, most importantly, I think this part is most importantly, is the differentiation you can have. Because normally, you want to highlight your differentiation. You want to do better at what you have, but no one's having right now, right? So I think this one is also quite useful, but you don't need to put it in the pitch deck because otherwise it's maybe too lengthy and too complicated. Yeah. Oh, okay, the last slide is about the business model. It's quite complicated. I can use another whole session to talk about business model, but yeah, I think maybe we can just roughly go through it, because today I think maybe only one team mentioned the business model. Yeah, it's maybe a bit early for you, but when you actually want to pitch the investors to raise money, they will definitely ask the business model for sure. So there are some common business models like subscription. I think everyone's super familiar with it, the SaaS. But here, what's important about the subscription model is that VCs will care whether it's recurring revenue or not. So normally you've already got some users and some revenue, and then we will maybe measure the churn rate, and then to see how recurring the revenue is, like based on the subscription fee. And normally for SaaS subscription fee, the gross margin is quite high. It's like 70 to 90%, something like that. So if your gross margin is too low, then you probably won't be competitive. Yeah. And the second thing we are also super familiar with, it's a usage based or consumption. What's the most familiar term to you, on this model? What's the business model in Web3 space using this kind of business model? Come on, you should know it. That's gas fee. Yeah. Gas fee, come on. Yeah. And freemium, PLG, I think premium is kind of similar to subscription fee, but you have a free tier. Yeah. And then marketplace and the take rate, I think you're all familiar with it, like the OpenSea fee. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When it comes to Web3, because people mostly tend to use the gas fees as their model.
Yeah.
Is it a good strategy, or it's better, say, more the subscription model first as you figure out the percentages and such kind of stuff?
I think because you said it's in Web3, so in Web3 industry, there are also different kinds of different products, which has different kind of models, right? So when we are saying gas fee is more about the layer 1, layer 2 blockchain, I think it's kind of quite reasonable or makes sense to have the consumption based kind of business model, because otherwise how much you will charge for subscription? You set a very high barrier for everyone to create apps on chain. I have to subscribe it first, but it doesn't make sense, right? So it's better with easy, because you are earning for what people are building or consuming or spending, right? So I think that makes more sense. Yeah. But you can also build a SaaS platform, a SaaS product in Web3 that using subscription model, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think marketplace is quite familiar. Advertising, not so familiar, not so frequently seen in Web3. Yeah, but very common in Web2, right? Normally, when the platforms get the moat in the data, and then they can easily do the advertising fee. Payment, fintech, I think this one is also intuitive. Data licensing, yeah, data licensing, I think similar to subscription plus consumption, yeah. Hardware, easy. Managed service, acts as a service. Oh, I think this one is actually quite common in Web3. We have wallet as a service, we have staking as a service, MPC as a service. Yeah, ZKS service. Yeah, we have seen many of this in Web3, and I think they also have a mixed kind of models, right? For example, like wallet as a service, they have a basic subscription fee and then plus consumption fee, right? Yeah, I think that's smart. Because you can set like a low tier for subscription for like some individual developers or very small startups for them to use it first. And then when they grow bigger, and then you charge more based on the consumption. And normally they will set a hurdle, like maybe 1,000 users, it's free. And then when it's like more than 1,000 users, they charge based on the consumption. I think that's clever. So if you're building like X as a service, you can consider. And professional business services and consulting, I think this one is something I won't tend to invest because it's super difficult to scale. For example, like in Web3, like auditing. Security companies, they're all like kind of consulting kind of business model. So they earn the revenue case by case. So it's super easy to calculate the potential market cap. For example, there are only 1,000 Web3 startups in the space, right? And then I'm a security company, and I assume, okay, I can get 50%, half of the market share. Then the cap revenue I can already get there. So how a VC can invest in a super like capped kind of market size business. So it's not so ideal for me. Yeah. I want to mention something also interesting. But we still see a lot of security companies, they raise a lot of money in the past few years. Then how come they can raise money? They're kind of like a consulting business. Okay, they all claim that we are going to build a product that can scale. For example, like a fuzzing tool. Like we can build a fuzzing tool, or we can build like an agents kind of platform that can scale. That's the key reason that they raise a lot of money. But no one actually shipped some like significant product, security product. Yeah. And embedded OEM revenue share. This is, This is, okay. So revenue share, I have a very concrete example. For example, we are a wallet company, and we have a lot of dApps willing to work with us. For example, like Lido, like Paraswap, and we will charge a revenue share fee from them, right? And they also rely on us, so that's why they're super willing to give us revenue share. But it results in that they will rely on our distribution channels. So you'd better not build something that only rely on the distribution channels. You only have a business model as revenue share. That's like not so ideal. Yeah. And the last thing is open source core to enterprise. I think this is something maybe most of people struggle in Web3. Like, yeah, everything is open source, and then how you can make money. I think this is also a common topic in Web2 as well, because it's for the whole like open source software community, like how to monetize.
An example is like with 3GS.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of like was open source thing, but later it shut down.
Yeah. So yeah, if someone can come up with an innovative business model on like open source software, I think it will be super meaningful for the whole industry. Okay, I think that's all, and best of luck. Any questions? it to the Shanghai Wu stuff. Yeah, just ask them for the file. Yeah.
Let's go back to the.
Yeah, sure. Which one?
So the first one, no. So the first one, I wanted to know more about the subscription.
Yeah.
So for us, we were given an example. For example, the revenue model for how we actually work, the business model. So for Request Finance, we take $300 a month and 50,000 transactions. And we want to take like maybe $30 or $50. How would that work as an advice for the subscription model?
So you want to lower the price,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Because that's a great difference. They are taking like $300, and we want to take like $30 to like $50 instead.
I think this. Then you have to ask yourself, like, why their customers are willing to pay higher price, and is the price the only consideration for them to switch?
Yeah, they actually take 0.7% from every transaction they make on their platform. So we decided to take 0.5% from every transaction that is made on those ones. Yeah.
And also, so that's a huge gap, right? Yeah, like your pricing was there.
For the percentage, it's not too huge, but then for the subscription, in terms of $30 to $50, and they are taking like $300, that's a huge gap.
I see. But do you think that's sustainable? You can always charge this low price?
Yeah, that's my other question. So the embedded system.
Yeah.
So we talked about proof link, which is our integration. So when someone integrates our application, like Request Finance can now integrate our application in terms of the compliance side, and then we take some fee from Request Finance. So with that, we also get funding from that side too. So we have like two business models.
I see.
For application.
I see. Yeah, but as I said, maybe we need to look into the product itself. Yeah, like why people are willing to pay higher prices. Yeah.
And then why are they charging that much?
Yeah.
Maybe it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have to maintain the basic gross margin rate, right? To make the business actually sustainable. Yeah. For example, like there's always pricing war, like in Web2 space, right? Once the companies raise a lot of money, and then they just provide lower prices or give coupons or whatever, but suddenly they just disappear because it's not sustainable. Yeah.
I have a question when it comes to like having like a new product, but for you, let's say, in order to have like users to try and test and use it, you would have to kind of make it in a freemium model, like it's like you're not earning anything, but maybe until you reach some certain milestone of users who are using your application, then now you start capping it now.
Yeah.
Is it like a good strategy investors would like really look up to?
Yes, I think it's always good if you have a high conversion rate from free to paid users. It's always very good sign to show actually the users want your product and that they're willing to pay. So I think it's very good, but I should say it's not that easy. The conversion rate is normally not so high, especially if you have several competitors. They're offering similar products with free choice. Then the conversion rate is normally very low. Yeah, and here is something I think Web3 people not good at. It's about sales. Yeah, like how you actually can successfully convert the users into free users into paid users. For example, I think Web2 they have a lot of sales techniques. and they kind of onboard you, and then you kind of upload a lot of data into the products, and then you use it for 1 month, or like 1 month is not enough. Oh, maybe we can give you another like 1-2 weeks, and then you can try more, and then like they have a lot of techniques, but in Web3, like I think no one's actually managing, the conversion,
And so just a follow-up question, like, so what's the best strategy then? If
Yeah.
you were to advise like more upcoming startups?
So for example, you can first you need to know like your product features compared with your like competitors' products, right? You must have some edges for users to keep using your product. That's the most important thing, right? And then you can divide your features into like 1, 2, 3 tiers. Like the free tier, you can maybe just have 2, 3 simple features, and then the first paid tier can have like 4 or 5 features, and the most expensive one, like you have like all the features. And here I think you need more like data to help you to classify the tier. For example, which feature is most used, right? Then you probably won't put it in the free tier. You probably put it in the first paid tier. Yeah, but not the most expensive one. Yeah, so there are several like, tactics here. Yeah, you can based on the user behavior and data. Yeah. Anything else? Cool. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. And I think today is we have enjoyed a very busy afternoon. And tomorrow, in one of the coolest bar in Singapore, we're having our friends from Africa and to host a night of across the continent. And they will introduce to the broader Singapore audience about Africa nowadays and its future, and how Africa is using blockchains and Web3s, and also like tell us more about their country, and we should know that it's not, Africa is not a country. And we have friends from Kenya and from Ghana. They're so opposite to each other, far away, and so different in style, as we can all see. So welcome if you have time, and go there and support our friends. And it's saying the location is, so we send it in the linking in our groups. It's saying Drunken Jump, right? Drunken Jump. Yeah, it's along the riverbank, and they will. The location is in a really like cool warehouse, like grand storage. It's 100 years old, like cultural heritage. That's supposed to be a joke. And sorry, I'm sorry. Okay, so enjoy your weekend and happy coding. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sitting. And yes, and if anyone wants to have a drink, I think this has some happy hours downstairs, like 10 USD, 10 SDG, yeah, per drink, something like that. And you can hang out, and if you want to hang out here for long and be my friends. And you can also grab each other and have fun.
Yeah, the modes are deep. But yeah, good presentation. See you guys.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
And also helping me.
Yeah, I work with Stella.
I thought you were
I was many years ago.
So you can speak Chinese.
Honestly, like a year and a half. It's not crazy.
Are you traveling a lot?
No, like last year.
I'm seeing a good friend.
I mean, yeah, you're probably in Lake Nigeria with like surfing, and then down here.
Yeah.